the ride, there's a party over there that ain't no job. It's live, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Just slide, slippity slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. I'm the captain of this vessel. We wanna take you on a cruise all around the land. Music is at hand. We wanna play it for you. We just want you to feel nothing but pleasure. Musical pleasure. Yeah. Music is very real. Really real. Truly a treasure. Musical treasure. Come along, pack the bags, get on up and jam on. Come on.
Hello everyone, welcome to WildFunktasy After Dark, the only podcast where KGB can't hear you. As always, I am your host, Joseph, the Soviet Stallion, and with me, a murderous koala, BrightMarsh.
How goes the old world? What's going on up there?
It's alright, it's okay. How's stuff with you?
Things are good. I got back and it's sticky outside. Not fun. And so I had like a day at work and that was I don't know. It's kind of boring, I guess.
Okay.
Things didn't really happen. I had cake, that was that, but that's like the most interesting thing that happened there.
What happened?
So it was like July 4th yesterday, and so we got cake. And there was like going to be a whole competition, but the other girl didn't have time to make anything. So they're putting that off to another time. And I said that I should bake something, and I wanted to bake something. And I've like been kind of interested in baking something for a while, but I haven't, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
That's very Johnny of you.
The baking stuff? Or...
Yeah.
I guess so. Like, that's it. I don't really cook other stuff. It's just baking. Specialized person.
Yeah, so last time you forgot, well, okay, maybe we both forgot to talk about another thing you did at the PortCon. You bought some stuff and we forgot to talk about it. So this is your chance.
Yeah, before we miss that, I bought things. I bought 2 video games, Pokemon Heart Gold and Black 2. I think that I already have buyer's regret since there was this other Mario game that was there that I should have gotten. It's like the same thing, man. It's like the same thing. So, and they changed the setup, which is so annoying because I like the setup in Diamond and the setup in Emerald. So the whole display is all messed up and different. And I'm not happy about that. But the game also has a saved account, so I'm debating whether or not I should whether I should start it over or not, because they have like some really special Pokemon on it, and I don't know if I should trade them over to my other game or what to do with that. So I'm in a bit of a pickle for now.
Okay.
You did video game things, didn't you? What were they? Were they good? How'd they go?
I played some Beyond Good and Evil recently, the first one. I still really love it. It holds up. But I wanted to talk about another thing, so this is you giving me right. So before we recorded the first episode of Wild Fantasy, for a while, several days straight, I was playing XCOM 2. I really like the first XCOM, so and I heard that the second game is good, and it actually is. I played like several days all straight, like almost no breaks. At some point, I actually stopped. One day, I played it all night and all day without sleep. It's really cool. And then I dropped it completely because a really stupid thing happened that completely ruined my game and killed my desire to play it ever again. So, what was that? For those who don't know, XCOM is the first one and the second one. XCOM games are strategy games about alien invasions where you manage a base and you have like a team of warriors, I guess, and like they do missions where they fight aliens who are invading Earth. And it's super hard, but it's also super rewarding. Like it's kind of like, I would say it's kind of the closest we got to a good D&D game, because it's kind of like has this element of ludonarrative, of like a story that emerges from gameplay, because there is like, when you take an action in this game, it's turn-based, so whenever like you take an action in this game, like you shoot at something, there is a percentage chance of hitting them, or hitting the enemy, and like that kind of makes it really fun, because like you have these stories about how your best like ranger with a shotgun came up to an alien and had like 95% chance of hitting him, and you took that chance and he missed and he was dead the next turn because he missed and he was in the open in front of that alien, so that alien ate him. But then like your sniper had like a 35% chance hit, so you like took that chance and you were like praying, please hit that guy, and she did. Like, and that's cool. Like you have these cool stories about how somebody fucks up, or like the other way around, like somebody made the best shot ever and saved the game. Okay, so how did I fuck it up? I fucked it up with DLCs, because I had XCOM 2 with a DLC called Alien Hunter, and Alien Hunter is a DLC that adds bosses to the game. Like it's at a certain mission you meet bosses, and they just start appearing. Like there is only 3 of them, but all 3 are incredibly hard. And here's why they're hard. First of all, they have huge health bars so they take really long time to kill. Secondly, and this is a much bigger reason, this is a turn-based game, as I said. So like your team makes a move, like everybody like shoots or walks or like puts a shield or whatever, and then like enemy team does the same, like you in turns. It's kind of like chess.
Is it a first-person or third-person shooter?
It's not a shooter; it's a strategy.
Okay, I've got like the wrong
so
idea
it's like,
of this.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. There is an XCOM shooter game, but it's bad. So bosses, they don't wait for regular turns. Bosses have a turn in between the turns of each individual member of your team. So like one of your soldiers takes a shot at it, and it gets a turn. So it's like it can walk and like kill one of you. One of your soldiers like runs away, also it gets a turn. You reload, it gets a turn. So it basically breaks the rules of the game. Like it has just more opportunities to kill all of you, and it's really hard to kill it.
But if you pass on all your turns, then it won't get any extra turns, and that's how you beat it.
What?
Can you just pass on all of your turns and...
No, if you pass, it still gets a turn.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
That's
like
crazy.
It's like, imagine if you don't get to what's happening, like imagine it's like chess. You're playing chess, but your opponent makes this ridiculous rule that for each square that any of your figure makes, he gets an extra turn. So like if you like move 7 squares, Like, he gets 7 different turns for his team. Like, that's how it feels. It feels like being completely handicapped in a game. The first boss was okay. We beat him like in 2 turns. Another thing is that if you don't kill them fast enough, they run away and you meet them on some next mission in a random place. So they're not just appearing like in designated spaces. They appear at other missions and mess them up for you. And so basically, the first one was okay. Second one, it took us 3 missions to get him. It was a Berserker Queen. It killed like most of us, but I eventually found a way to kind of manipulate it and kill it. Like, it was slightly easier because it was usually more likely to attack the last soldier that attacked it. So you could kind of predict a bit of its behavior. So that happened, and then the third boss came up, who was the hardest of all, and I just realized that I can't beat him at all. Like, it kills all of my team, or most of it. And here's why you can't complete this game off because of it. At first, you can kind of like, at first stages of the game, you can kind of afford to lose some missions. Like, some soldiers die, some missions are lost. But then kind of like, when you get into middle part of the game, you can't basically afford to lose ever. Or to lose soldiers, because all of them have experience, all of them have cool weapons, cool super abilities, and if you lose them, the game doesn't become easier. Like, the game only gets harder and harder. So it gets harder, but you have to recruit new soldiers who are bad at everything. So for every fail, the game becomes basically much harder. And if you lose like most of your team, you might as well give up. Yeah.
Sounds
and you can avoid basically it. You can avoid this mission where these bosses appear and they will not appear. But you only know that if you either looked it up on the internet first, or you played the game first. So the only way to kind of complete the game now for me is to start over the whole campaign. Like, those like 15 hours of gameplay that I played, they are basically gone for me. And like, even if you like, the biggest problem here is that you can avoid this mission, but the game kind of puts you in a situation where it tells you that you should complete most missions. So there isn't like a special message that says, "Hey, don't do this mission unless you want the game to be really hard." Like, okay, that's mostly it's terrible, and I deleted the game immediately afterwards because I consider it a complete fuck you to me, like as a player. Never before played a game where additional content actually broke it for you, like where additional content made the game impossible. It never happened to me.
Are you like a completionist video game player? Like where you have to do all the things?
No, not really, but the problem is with XCOM is that there is this thing called Avatar Project. If you don't complete most important missions, like it's basically a game over. Like, the enemy creates a super special weapon, kind of like Death Star, and it's game over. Like, you should complete big missions to prevent that from happening. And when this mission with bosses comes up, everything in the game kind of like tells you that, hey, this is an important mission. You probably should do it. And I thought, like, yeah, I should do it because otherwise Avatar Project will move up and it will be game over. Yes, so that was terrible. I'm honestly so burnt out by this that I think I want to play this game ever again. The first one was better, in my opinion. It's still really good, like, it's super addictive and interesting and fun, but moments like this remind me why it's not a game where you relax, basically. Like, you have to be prepared to stress out. Like, if you are depressed or have a hard time, avoid games like this. And that's kinda it. It's all for my XCOM 2 fuck up.
And I got another thing. I got Super Meat Boy, and
Yes.
It's really fun. It's like Sonic, where you have to run and go really fast, and it's super hard. And I really like the part where the meat goes everywhere, and it sprays all over the place, and it's hard. That's like all my thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's a great game. The comparison to Sonic is actually really good because I think Super Meat Boy is like the only good Sonic game. Because like all Sonic games, especially the 3D ones, in my opinion, had this problem that you are really fast, and you have to go fast. But it also makes the game harder to control. Like it's hard to see enemies or traps or pitfalls. Super Meat Boy is the only game that kind of thought, hey, we can use this to make the game more difficult, but also like make it fun. It's great. It gets ridiculously hard, like in I think World 4. So be ready. I dropped it at World 4 because it requires insane precision in jumps.
I'm already struggling at World 2, the hospital, but I also like how there's replay elements where you can go back and get the bandages and the other world levels and the Game Boy-esque levels, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah.
I love it.
The music's also good. I think it's like
music is amazing music. Yeah, so now, if that's all for games, we can talk movies.
Yeah.
There are two big movies that we watched for completely different reasons. Which one do we want to start with?
Let's go Transformers. Get on that thing.
Both of us, I think, rewatched recently Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Good one.
Yes, incredibly. This is gonna be, for me, this is incredibly funny because we started the first episode with criticizing Wonder Woman, and now like the second episode we're like, hey, Transformers 4 is actually good. I think like we're creating ourselves a bad reputation. But no, I want to say in advance, I hate Michael Bay. Like even among people who hate Michael Bay, I think I hate him with a special kind of passion. Transformers: Dark of the Moon is one of my top 3 least favorite movies in the world. That movie made me hate Michael Bay. But Transformers: Age of Extinction, I actually enjoyed surprisingly. I would almost say if it wasn't so goddamn long, I would actually call it a good-ish movie.
Yeah, could have been shorter.
It could have been way shorter. Like at some point, it kind of feels like another movie has started.
I think they should have like cut out the first 30 minutes because that's where I remember shit starting to actually happen. When Savoy and the FBI dudes get on escalating shit at the farm, and then Optimus Prime explodes out of the farm, and that's where it gets really good. But then there's like long stretches of boringness with the stupid company and the Transformium and the Stanley Tucci being a jerk, and there's this other part that really stuck out to me when rewatching it, where he was in the elevator and there's this Chinese guy and he was being all smarmy and annoying and I'm Stanley Tucci, that person is working for me. Then the criminal bad guy comes out of the woodwork and the guy that was in the elevator out of nowhere just jumps in and starts punching the crap out of him for like no reason, and that made no sense. Why'd that happen? That was dumb. Remember that?
I think I know why that happened. That happened because Transformers are getting more and more money from Chinese market. And in this movie, I think you can see lots of attempts to make Chinese as good as possible. Yeah. Not really Chinese, it's Hong Kong. Hong Kong is kind of its own country, basically, but it's still its representation. And it's especially noticeable because almost all power structures in Transformers movies are shown as incredibly incompetent and almost childish. And only like the good American soldiers are shown to be cool and save the day. Like, and now we have but in Age of Extinction, they actually portray Hong Kong and Chinese government as like competent, and they're like, when Transformers invade, they're like, hey, do this, do that, like evacuate people. They're super effective. But I'm not complaining. Like, if capitalism makes Michael Bay less racist, I'm all for it.
And the other bullshit thing was that they went to from Beijing to Hong Kong in like who knows how many hours, and that's like going all the way. That's like really far, and I don't think that makes sense at all.
That's pretty far, but I don't know, that didn't bother me too much. They are rich. Though yeah, they went by car. That was stupid.
Yeah.
That could have been simpler. They could have just like been in Kowloon, and then it's like Kowloon is right by the river with Hong Kong, so could have gone from there. But probably Beijing just looks cooler. And again, Chinese market, they probably like seeing Beijing. Yeah, all that.
There's like millions of giant cities all along China. They could have gone to like any of them. Like Shanghai is closer, and that would have made more geographical sense.
Oh, I don't know.
Michael Bay's dumb. That's what it is.
Oh, you think? That's like hot takes on WildFunktasy, everybody. Like breaking some new grounds over here. Yeah, my feelings on Michael Bay are complicated. Here's the thing: Michael Bay is actually a really good technician. Like his movies, say what you want about them, they look really good. Like he has a good eye. He is good like with camera movement, like with colors, and with like he has some great shots in these movies. Actually, sometimes.
Occasionally. There's like
there is a.
I have like a couple of hang-ups, like I think more so in the first one than the fourth one, but I don't know what that was. There's this like greeno vision where everything has this green tint, like it's a Matrix or something. And that's bizarre. There's like this one part in particular in the first Transformers where it was the final city battle, whatever, and I paused it, and it looked like there was a soldier in a forest, but he was in the city. Why the hell? How do you fuck that up? That's so wrong, and so I don't like that. But they got rid of the greeno vision in the fifth movie, so I guess there's that.
The moment that the first fuck up in the movie that completely jumped to my eye is at the start when a bunch of those soldiers kill an Autobot somewhere, like when like one of them walks by a van, and there is like a bunch of computers there, like in a van that show views from the cameras, like from helicopter and from soldiers. Only like 3 of them are up, and the rest are green. And somebody forgot to actually, in special effects, put an image there on these green screens. Like it's really noticeable if you know like when it comes. Like it's so jumps in your eyes. But yeah, like aside from that, like he gets some great shots, and that's why it's frustrating that he's a good technician. He doesn't know how to use his skill at all. Like his editing is terrible. His stories are terrible. Like he thinks, like many people have said it, that Michael Bay thinks that a good movie is like 500 dynamic shots and 0 static ones. So and it sucks. Like I don't like Fast and Furious movies mostly because like everybody tells me that they are these crazy, stupid blockbuster movies, but they are shot really, really boringly, in my opinion. Like they look so gray. And Michael Bay, with all his problems, he's at least interesting in how insane he gets with his films.
Yeah, they're definitely unique, I guess.
Yeah, they have a style, and it sucks that he doesn't know how to use it. And because special effects, like especially like CGI in his movies, he's almost unmatched in my opinion, like in quality. Especially for Transformers 4, when it's just robots, like when a bunch of robots interact, it's really bad. It's like cartoony. But when they actually like fight in a city and there are explosions and actual like real sets and real buildings exploding and falling apart, CGI, the way it's blended in, it looks amazingly good. Like, it looks pretty believable. And almost nobody kind of like does it on the same scale. Like no Marvel movie really does it as well. Like I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came pretty close, like to kind of capturing what if Bay style was good. But still, it was always close. And that's what frustrates me. Like he could be good. Like he needs. If only like he wasn't so successful, then maybe he would stop and think about his movies and change his style and get a better screenwriters or producers. But no, they make like billions of dollars, so there is no reason to change anything. That's most what I could say about Age of Extinction. It shows a lot of like actually a lot of improvements, which is surprising. Like Transformers: Dark of the Moon, like half of that movie has no story. Like half of that movie is just Sam Witwicky fucking around in the city. There is no plot almost there, like for half of it. In Age of Extinction, there is actually like a pretty good 3-act structure plot. Characters change, like Stanley Tucci, like he has an arc, like Mark Wahlberg sorta has an arc. Like it's basic stuff, but for Michael Bay, okay, maybe not Mark Wahlberg. I'm sorry, that was dumb of me.
What does he do? How does he change again? I don't know. It sort of escapes me.
I guess he finds purpose in helping Transformers. Like he kind of, like he constantly talks about how he will change the world, but his contribution comes when he's like with Transformers. Can we talk about the best scene ever in that movie?
Which one? Which scene?
It's when Mark Wahlberg fights a goon, like an assassin in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so at the final part of that battle, that assassin like takes out a knife and like have like a bit of a distance between them in an apartment, and Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, he finds a ball from American football. How do you call it?
Football. A football.
Okay, so it's a football, yeah. He finds football and he throws it at this guy, and that actually like distracts him enough for Marky Mark to throw him out of the building. He beats an assassin with the power of American football. That's so great. Like I loved it so much, and also there is a John Goodman robot. There is a Transformer voiced by John Goodman. He's the best Transformer in my opinion.
He was pretty good. I also kind of liked the green one that was had like the trench coat.
Yeah, that's John DiMaggio voiced him.
Oh, John DiMaggio? Really? I didn't...
Yes, it's a John DiMaggio. For those who don't know, he is Bender from Futurama.
I demand you restore my buttocks to their former glory.
Finn, Jake the dog in Adventure Time.
Yo, what up? I'm Jake the dog.
Scotsman and Samurai Jack.
Oi, you gotta meet me pony daughters.
And Marcus Finis in Gears of War.
Oh, we're not done yet.
And many other stuff. Like he's great. I love John DiMaggio. I mean, there are problems obviously. Like it's too long. It's still terribly sexist. Like the first few dialogues, all characters have like mention women only like in a sexual possessive way. Like it shows improvement still. Like they have this one Asian chick who actually like fights, and he is cool and capable and saves Stanley Tucci. So like we're learning. Like these movies are slowly getting less and less sexist, I guess.
Yeah, I saw Transformers, the 1980s movie, and that sure was an experience.
Did you like it?
Oh, no, not at all. It was horrible. I hate it.
Okay.
I hated the style. Everything was orange and gross, and it was an incessant music video of a movie. Non-stop garbagey music and garbagey garbage. It was horrible. I hated it.
It is the Suicide Squad of its time.
I guess. But I guess Orson Welles sounded cool, so...
Orson Welles plays the villain. It's great. He sounds kind of bored a bit, but it's still Orson Welles in all his majesty.
Yeah. So he's magnificent.
I watched it a long time ago, but I really like it. But I will admit here that it's not good. Like, there is almost no plot there. It was just their commercial for new toys. That was actually what it was. Like, they killed a bunch of characters there, and the only reason they do it is because...
Get more characters.
Yeah, because they wanted to replace these toys and sell them, so... That's it, kids. Like, capitalism ruined your dreams. It killed your favorite characters.
But they didn't kill the fucking Kenny. He was so annoying.
Who was that? Remind me.
It was the dumb kid, like Gamera Kenny. He was a Kenny.
I forgot he was even in this.
He was annoying, and he should have not done anything at all in the movie. Because, like, aside from him, his dad is the only actual human character that's, like, in it. So it's, like, only two humans, which I guess is kind of really quite a contrast with the other Transformers movies. But the dad spends, like, most of the movie inside the Orson Welles robot, since he was eaten up.
It's so funny, because Orson Welles was also pretty fat at the time. so like, it kind of fits that he's an all-eating planet.
I am Orson Welles, but show me what you've got. Show me what food you've got. Feed me.
By the way, you said Too Human. I just wanted to quickly say, yesterday I watched a stream from Fallen Ideas on the game Too Human. It's a pretty good stream. Like, check it out if you have 6 hours of your life. Okay, it's funny because the game is called Too Human, and it's a cyberpunk Viking fantasy. I guess that's the genre. I just want to say that it's kind of funny that they already called it Too Human, because if they made a sequel today, it will probably be called Too Human with a numerical 2.
Too Human 2?
No, actually Too Human. And the third game would be 3 Human. I'm sorry. I just needed to get it out of my system. That's all I had to say about that. Okay, so Transformers.
But I like the Orson Welles robot. His design was kind of cool with the bat wings and everything.
I actually have a photo of his robot toy from Comic-Con. That was cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, there was a cool stand in Comic-Con where they had Transformers of each generation toys, including the new ones.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so that's it for Transformers, I guess. Yeah?
But wait, I saw the 5th one!
Oh god, yes!
And it was horrible! And I hated it! All! Way too much! It was so bad! They fucked up everything that they did in the 4th one. So, the first thing that comes to mind is his Marky Mark's freaking sword gun. In that one, he has a gun that's a sword, and it's awesome, and he just butts it up and shoots it like a kid, and it's ridiculous. We don't got that in the 5th one. And the stupid boyfriend that was in the Age of Extinction. We don't have that, so goodbye, he's not there. That's kind of a change for the better, one of the few ones. And his daughter, she's off at college. That's a plot that no one cares about. That was irrelevant to, like, I had no investment in that at all. But it like starts out really kind of interestingly, where instead of just the US being against the Transformers, it's like the whole world except for Cuba for no reason. That goes nowhere at all either.
Well, because it's communism in Cuba. It's gay space communism already. So they accept gay space Transformers.
I guess there's something to like look into that with communism or whatever. Who knows?
I don't think that's actually the reason. I'm just fucking with you.
I don't know why he chose Cuba. That's like a really bizarre thing. There was like a guy that was in Cuba that helps like the characters to find the super special murder staff that everyone was looking for, since they gotta have one of those things
in every movie.
All these movies.
Yeah.
But he could have been anywhere. He could have been back in the US, or he could have been someone in the UK, since those are the only 3 places that this takes place. It was pointless. Anyway, back to the movie. So, like, I actually really liked the first half that took place in the US. It was kind of cool seeing Mark as a fugitive, man, with all the, like, all 16 or whatever Transformers trying to hide them on the run. And the Latina girl, Isabella, is kind of cool, and she's, like, charismatic enough, I guess. Much better than the counterparts that Mark had in the other movie, aside from TJ Miller, who was also really good. But screw that, they gotta go to England with Cogman, and then it gets stupid. And I didn't care at all. And they left all the Transformers for this other plot. It was like the Transformers movie without the Transformers for the second half of the movie. So that's a pile of shit.
Okay, so you answered one of the questions I had already, that the girl is cool, that I know, but I also know that there's like 10 minutes of her and then she's gone. Yeah?
She has like a pretty big part where Mark says, "You gotta go away. These are Transformers, they're dangerous." But she's like, "No, I don't have a home. I'm staying here. Screw you." And she blackmails him into staying there, because otherwise she'd call the cops on him, since everyone's trying to find him, since he's a criminal that helped the Transformers.
There was this whole trailer that, like, where she talks to the camera about, like, how you should fight like a girl. And that was super cool, but it made her look like the main character of the movie when she's really not.
Not at all. She's like in 40 minutes of it or so. So I don't know the time scale of it, but she was in the first half.
Okay, so I will watch it probably for her. Like, she's like that sign of progress that maybe Bay is getting more woke, I guess.
Stop it after the stupid butler robot gets there, because it doesn't get any better after that. It's all garbage.
Here's what I want to know. In every Transformers movie, there is usually a respected actor, like John Turturro, Stanley Tucci, Francis McDormand. Like, in each one of those movies, they have some respected actor, and Bay finds a way to shit on them somehow. Like, to give them either a shitty part, or like have a part like where Bumblebee pees on them. And I want to know, how do they shit on Anthony Hopkins?
I don't know. He was just kind of boring there, and he had like a haircut.
So Anthony Hopkins is too cool to make fun of.
I kind of stopped paying attention when they got to England.
That was boring. That kind of like, I just wanted also to watch it just for that, because this is such a new low for already low.
They made Anthony Hopkins boring. I guess that's how they humiliated him.
Yeah, but I want there to be like a scene where he like comedically falls and there is a giant transformer and he takes a shit on him, and Anthony Hopkins
Maybe
is
it's
all
like-
in crap, and he's like, "Whoa, didn't see that coming," and there's a funny music playing. I don't know. I'm expecting something like that.
There was stupid, like, humor in it. It was like Linorama, which I wouldn't really expect from a Michael Bay movie, since it doesn't really seem like his style, but it was there, and it was garbage.
The color me shocked.
And I guess the other thing that I really hated was the fucking butler robot, which I think totally goes against the whole idea of Transformers as a thing. Like, the Cogman is human-sized, which is wildly unlike the other Transformers, which are all usually generally giant freaking robots. And the idea is that they hide in commonplace, and even though they're giant robots, but that's not a giant robot, so it's like going against that whole thing. And I hate it. It's stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for Transformers, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, now we can talk about a good movie, like a really good movie.
An actual good movie.
An actual good movie. Okja, or
Okja.
however you pronounce it, it depends. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Okja is a new Netflix exclusive movie by South Korean director Bong Joon-ho. Just quickly, I will say this, that Bong Joon-ho is probably my favorite director working today. Like, all of his movies that he made, I've seen them, except for the very first one, I think. And I love them all. Like, especially Mother. Mother is, like, in my top 10 favorite of all time. Amazing director, amazing movies. So
Good stuff.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to Okja for a long, long time. And finally, it's here, and we've seen it, and we have things to say about it. So, do you want to start, or should I start?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. Okja was really good. I really loved it a lot, and it made me feel all the feelings. Like, it made me feel sad and happy, and I guess there were like a bunch of movies that I saw before that where things happened, and I guess I was supposed to feel like a certain way, and I was like, I guess I should be sad about this. But Okja was different. It was like really good, and there was like something about the style, or I guess, that really made me feel all the feelings. And I cried at the end when they were leaving the concentration camp lab.
Oh, spoilers.
So, spoilers.
Yeah, I don't care about spoiling Transformers, but let's not spoil Okja too much, at least. Yes, so I also really loved it, but I will say that from all Bong Joon-ho movies, this was probably my least favorite so far.
Really?
Yeah, but it's like a really mild criticism, because keep in mind that it was a filmography of just pure masterpieces up to this point. So this is just like a lesser masterpiece. My problems would be like biggest gripes with it was that the main character was too passive for most of it.
Really?
Oh yeah, like the main character is this small Korean girl, played brilliantly, by the way, by this girl whose name I can't pronounce, An Seun-ho, I think. But I probably butchered this name. I'm sorry. You look her up; she's great in it. Like this year is really good for child performance. She and Daphne Keane in Logan, amazing work. Like I'm glad we have a good child performances.
She's not a Kendra at all. She was like really good. I liked her a lot and felt really attached to her.
Yeah, great. But yeah, like she was passive for most of it. Like she was just she tried to do stuff, but she never had enough of an effect on the story and plot and the characters. And the movie, okay, so for me, this was basically kind of like a Miyazaki live-action movie. Like, it was a live-action cartoon. Especially in the big sequences, because there is these sequences where everybody runs and there is a lot of physical comedy, and it's really good and really fun, and it really feels like a cartoon, like where all this amazing visual stuff happens. And it seems like this my general impression was that they came up with those sequences first, or just kind of had them in their heads first, and the plot kind of had to just guide itself to these scenes. It didn't feel to me like the plot naturally went there. That's just my feeling in general. Those are nitpicks. It was great. All performances are great. It's brilliantly shot. It still has this cool part about Bong Joon-ho, that he has these tone shifts where it goes from kind of whimsical to being pretty dark and kind of comically dark, funny dark, but then action-packed and whimsical again, epic. He's great in this. Like, that's an incredible talent. I don't know how he managed to do this. That's my general impressions. Do you want to add anything before I get into heavy stuff?
I guess my other thoughts were that it was kind of like Keanu, where there's this animal or pet or something like that, and it's taken away, and everyone wants to get it back, and so that's what I thought it was like, to give a premise.
Yeah, okay. I won't spoil anything because it's a good movie and I want everyone to see it. Like, it's on Netflix, so it's easy to get. But I want to give everyone a huge content warning. This movie, in the last third of it, gets incredibly dark, almost depressingly dark. There is a lot of animal abuse in it. It's handled well. It's handled tastefully. Like, you don't see most of it, but it's implied, and it's used not just for cheap tricks. It has a message. It has a clear environmental, animal rights message. It can mess up your day, but if you're sad and depressed, stay away for a while. You have to be prepared for this movie. I was almost crying at the end.
Yeah, the ending got me.
No, I couldn't believe how dark it went. I was sitting there watching, going, what the hell?
Factory farming's bad, man. Real bad stuff.
Yeah. So that's it. That's Okja.
Oh yeah, I've got one other thing.
Oh.
I don't eat pig, and so I was wondering how, as a person that do you eat pig? Wait, do you eat pork or ham or anything like that? I do. So did that change how you saw Okja at all?
Yes.
Because I thought, oh my god, I'm not eating Okja. That seems horrible. It's like a giant, cute, adorable rhino animal. How did that affect you?
Immensely. It will sound maybe really funny or naive, but after this, I actually am considering becoming a vegetarian.
Really?
Yes, I feel bad, and here's the thing. I knew all this stuff before. I knew how animals are treated in these environments where they are raised to become food. So I knew about all this stuff before. I just never thought about it this much. I found justifications in my head. Yeah,
I don't know how to feel about eating animals. It's really conflicting.
Just for the record, the problem, it's something from, I read an interview with the director, and he kind of raised a good point that the problem is not just eating animals. Even in this movie, this main girl, who is this pig's best friend, her favorite food is chicken. You can see her eating chicken. Yeah, so here's the thing, the problem is not just eating animals, don't feel automatically bad if you eat animals. The problem is the amount the quantity in which we're consuming animals, because this quantity creates an environment where animals on farms are raised from early aged, and they do a lot of terrible things to them, and then they're just killed to be consumed by us. So the problem is that how much we consume animals, and if a lot of us stop right now, we can kind of fix it. At least that.
Is Bong Joon-ho a vegetarian?
I think yes, and it's not the first time those topics came up in his movies. I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was that part in Snowpiercer where they got to the food processing car, and that was gross.
Snowpiercer, the host also kind of had hints at even the host, though they're trying to kill the monster is still not technically all bad.
Wait, really? I don't remember that part at all.
They basically show that a huge problem is all the toxic waste the companies are dropping. So the problem is companies again. Yes, listen, this is a good time. I'm glad we. Thank you for bringing it up at the last point about Okja.
And the other part that I really liked was Giancarlo Esposito was also in that, and he was wonderful, even though it was kind of a bit part.
Who was he?
He's the black dude. He didn't have
yeah. I got you now. Yeah, he was
really good.
Everybody is good in it. The casting is spot on.
They're all good. Star cast, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Ensemble cast.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, just quickly, I want to say that there was this one Asian dude from Walking Dead. I don't remember his name. Maybe you do.
I don't watch that.
Okay, he was in it. I'm glad he gets a job again because he had problems, and but they kind of cleverly played up the cliche of Asian character knowing all Asian languages, because he's Asian American, and they go he and his team, they go to South Korea, and there is this scene where he tries to talk Korean, but he's bad at it. And that's great. Usually, when you have Asians in movies, they're all on the same page. And here, no, Asians are also from different countries and different cultures. They are not always the same people. That was great job, Bong Joon-ho. So that's it for Okja. Now you have a story to share.
Yeah, I got two.
Oh,
I guess I'll go with the less recent one. It was a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 or so. And I was going out of a building after buying some things, and I had this slip of paper that was kind of important, and I was holding it in my hand, and out of nowhere the wind just plucked it out of my hand, and it flew, and I tried to grab it, but I missed. It was something out of a freaking cartoon, and it went down past the banister and away from the stairs into the bushes. So I had to run around into the grassy area to see where it fell, and I was almost about to, and I looked here and there, and I didn't really see it at all, and I was just about to leave when I saw it in the dirt. And so I picked it up, and the wind took it off again, and so I had to chase after it again. And then I got it and went to the car and went home. So that was my life. It feels like a cartoon at times.
Or a movie by Bong Joon-ho. It's a sad how do you say tragedy and comedy?
Comma tragedy? Or I don't know, you can track it somewhere.
Yeah.
Tragedy? No.
There is a word in Russian, but I don't think people will understand it. Okay, doesn't matter. Next story, if you're done with this one.
Yeah, the next story. Okay, so that was last week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It doesn't really matter. But I had decided to bring in pasta, and I decided, since I had made pasta the other day, it must have been like a Thursday or Friday. And I also decided to bring in hot sauce, because I like hot sauce. I eat hot sauce, chili sauce, and like buffalo sauce with lots of things. And so when lunch happened, I got out my lunch out of the fridge. I put the it was like a mixture of buffalo sauce and hot chili sauce, like habanero sauce, onto some of the pasta. I tried it and I gagged. It was horrible. So I'm never doing that again. That's a terrible combination that no one should have to try ever. The pasta has like no flavor, so it's just pure, straight up chili sauce, and it was too bad, real bad.
Okay, this reminded me of a story I had, and I wasn't going to tell it initially, but I think it's gonna be fun. So it's also about pasta. Once I was living in a different house with a bunch of students who were my neighbors. One of them once cooked like a lot of pasta with some sauce, I guess some ketchup sauce, and he gave almost everyone in the house gave a plate of this pasta to try, and I tried it, and it was also horrible. And it was kind of it was so horrible that I couldn't salvage it with adding salt or anything else. But I didn't want to throw it away in the house because he would probably see it. I didn't want to make him upset. I was so worried about it. So
in those situations.
So here's what I did. Every night back then I went jogging. And this time I packed it all in a small box. I packed all this pasta in the box and ran away from the house jogging. And I ran several blocks until I reached, and then I stopped, found the bin, and threw it all up in there. I did some spice shit just to stay off the grid.
When you came back in, did he turn around in the swivel chair with the cat on his lap on the right leg or the left leg when you came in?
I guess left probably.
And how did you escape that death trap?
Well, I asked him to explain to me his villainous plan, and while he was monologuing, I found a bottle of gin, and I hit him with it. And gin was all sticky, so when he woke up, he also slipped on it and got knocked out again. It was a perfect mission.
True success.
Yeah. So now we can talk about trailers. The street trailers. I don't know if you've seen the other one. It doesn't really matter because it won't be a huge topic for me, at least. First up is Rick and Morty, the trailer for season 3.
Yeah, that's really exciting. There are things that happened and it looked really funny, and the one thing that caught my attention is that there was a specific sequence or a couple of shots that all seem to emulate Mad Max, so I'm curious to see where that goes and how that will play out, what they're doing with that, because I bet they'll do something pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the trailer, but I don't have much to say, because here's the thing. Rick and Morty is probably one of the few shows that doesn't need trailers. Because Rick and Morty is kind of this intentionally absurdist, crazy show about that doesn't make much sense, but it doesn't have to. It's all about exploring the weird situations and environments that its creators invent each episode. It's all about that. And it's not about the characters or what they go through.
I guess, totally.
So like they don't need trailers. Like they just have to like say, hey, there's gonna be a season 3 or 4, and we'll just watch it because it's great and there is nothing else like it around.
Yeah, I get that, but I guess maybe they were just spoiling the fans or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's still nice. I still like. It's nice to have a trailer because like to see what's up, what's coming. I like the phrase like when they're like surrounded by monsters and Rick is like,
It takes more than that to kill Rick and Morty.
and there's more monsters on the ground and he's like,
This might do it. Run, Morty.
They should have like released it after the second episode started as like a super cut of the series to justify it that way instead of doing a trailer.
yeah, maybe. So can I talk about now the other trailer?
Oh yeah, sure.
The other trailer is the trailer for Fully Cooley or FLCL. This new season. For those who don't know, it's FLCL is a 6-part OVA anime from early 2000s. I really love it. It's probably my favorite anime of all time. And recently they announced that they are making season 2 all of a sudden. And now we got even not even a trailer. It's more like a teaser. Like it's a quick series of scenes from what probably will be in season 2. Here's a bunch of problems I have. First one, it's been made by Gainax. The first one was also made by Gainax, but since then, most people who worked on FLCL left Gainax, and now they are working at Trigger.
Oh.
So it's a sequel, like it's season 2 from completely different team. Almost nobody who made the first season great is there anymore. That's not cool. The trailer kind of confirms my suspicions because they changed the art style and now it kind of has more, like it looks a bit more digitalized for me, and I don't like the style at all. Like everything feels too clean and kind of all colors seem to be glowing and washed up at the same time, kinda. The first one was kind of had like more freestyle quality to its art, like it was very simplistic, but also like kind of rougher, and it kind of fit with the crazy tone of the show, crazy nonsensical tone. So not excited about that at all. Like maybe we'll watch it under obligation, but overall I expect it to be bad. Just in general, like FLCL was perfect. It doesn't need a sequel or continuation. But there are two things in my mind that don't need continuation. It's FLCL and Blade Runner, and both are coming out this year. Yeah, I think I'm super stoked for Blade Runner, the second one, the sequel to Blade Runner. But I still think it's a mistake to make it. So I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic. It has good team behind it. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
But of all the things that they could have made a sequel to, Blade Runner is not. Like it's a bad fit. Maybe we'll talk about that someday when I watch it. That will be probably a good opportunity to talk a lot about Blade Runner.
In October.
Yeah. In October. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies, so I have a lot to say.
Sure.
So we have two big topics, and I don't know, we should probably pick one of them, because both of them require a lot of time. It's Dice Funk, Ilium, and...
I'm all caught up now.
And 3 movies to become video games.
Let's start off with Dice Funk.
Okay, let's try starting off with Dice Funk. You can start.
Okay, so I got all caught up on Dice Funk, and I super love it. I had stopped at the episode where Bumbershoot was exiled, and I wasn't really sure how to feel since he was leaving, and he was like one of my favorite characters, and I liked his dynamic with Maximilian and thought their bickering was really funny. But I restarted last week, and I really, really liked it. I loved I really grew to like Theodora's relationship stuff with Sylvia and her mission to get it on with rocks, and that is great, and I'm so looking forward to how they resolve that and do that thing. And Zoe is also really good, and it's wild magic, and it's done, I don't know, it's just great. And Roland's I don't know, it's like bleh.
Isn't he
But
fantastic?
I guess. But Valerie is like also really funny, but a little on the nose and like in your face, blunt, and I don't know. That part's kind of annoys me, but she's still cool, I guess.
She's very different. I like that aspect of her.
That's good.
She seems very different. Plus, she has a good voice. Like, she has a really good voice for this stuff.
I started listening to the episode where she was in. I was like, ooh, that's something. And now I'm like, yeah, that's a good voice. That's a voice that I'd like to listen to. And so I'm happy with it now.
She has, I want to give a shout out. She has a one-shot D&D campaign that an hour and a half, maybe 2, I don't remember. It's on her, somewhere on her page, on Patreon, I think. Or on SoundCloud probably. Okay, write me if you want to find it, or I will put it later in a link. And it's really great. She's the dungeons master there, and she actually has a pretty cool style. Her style is really fluid. But the best part is actually that everybody talks with her voice, and she actually tries giving characters unique accents. What's kind of
really?
funny? Yeah, but what's kind of funny is that it was just what I noticed. She's super polite there. Almost every character calls everybody else dears. Hey, hello. What are you doing here, dears? Yeah, it's actually really funny, and the other characters are great in that. But when I listened to that way before it was even announced that she will be on Dice Funk, so when it was announced, it was such a surprise for me. It was wow. It was that moment when they confirm that Hulk is gonna be in Thor Ragnarok for me. Oh yeah, I'm all for it. I have this funny observation about Dice Funk. Season 2, Lorelei was, from the start, Austin said it was inspired by Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can kind of feel it. It was also about sea and the flood. And if that's the case, I feel Season 3 is Majora's Mask.
Really?
I think so. Don't you feel like that?
I'm not too familiar with Zelda stuff.
Okay. Neither am I, but I just know in general about those two games.
Oh.
Majora's Mask is kind of the weird one, the weird and creepy one, where all the coolest, and also it's kind of more grounded. It all takes place in one city.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, and every character basically is really weird and strange, and also has giants too. And I think all of it kind of fits. It's also Link also collects spirits of bosses there, I think, something like that. And he has masks, and that kind of reminds me of all the Persona stuff in Season 3 of Dice Funk.
I guess with Garrick's mask as well.
Yeah, so I really feel like this is Majora's Mask, and it's great because Majora's Mask is one of my favorite things ever. Not just games. It's an incredibly cool setting and approach to a familiar stories. I should talk about that more someday. There is a lot to talk about. Yeah, and I just loved it. I love that this season feels darker and grittier, and like characters feel more strange.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I guess the other thing is that when I first heard about the idea of when Laura first hinted of trying to get with the rocks, I wasn't so sure of how I'd feel about that, because like, what about her faith and belief in the avant-garde? But I don't know, I guess her sheer charisma or something has gotten me into it. So now I'm so on that train, and I like don't know what I was thinking back then.
I hope that it finally like gets somewhere, because season 2 kind of had some ships going, literally. I did not intend for that part to happen. Yeah, but like, I hope that Austin finally lets someone go to Bone Town this season.
Definitely.
And I don't mean to Alice Hawthorne's house. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about Dice Funk. We can now move on to our special topic, if you want.
Yeah.
I feel like doing it. I feel like going for it today.
Let's do it.
So yeah, our special topic that we prepared for this episode is 3 movies to become video games. Like, we are picking not just movies, like it can be a TV show, cartoon, anime. We are picking something from like movie media that would make a great video game, and we will try to describe what kind of game it will be and who should develop it. So both of us have 3 picks. And who do you want to start, or should I?
You go first. You brought it up.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So my first pick for movie to become a video game is Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods, for those who don't know, it's a horror comedy movie from Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard. It's a really great movie. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite horror movies, and it's intentional play on horror tropes. Like, it has a typical story of dumb teenagers who go to some lake house to have a party and get slaughtered by monsters. But there is a twist, and I will spoil this twist, but it's not even like big of a twist. It's from the start of the movie, you know this, and that's the joke. There is the secret organization that basically monitors them, that follows their actions and sends all the monsters to them. And this secret organization has to sacrifice, I think every year, a bunch of people in those horror movie scenarios in order to prevent apocalypse. And they have divisions all over the world, so every single horror movie ever is their doing, basically. Like, they have a Japanese horror, they have like a more like lowbrow, like Texas horror, I guess. And
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Kind of like this, yeah. And but the main focus on this Evil Dead-esque scenario, and they have like, it's so really funny, like they play on all these tropes. Like, they have gas that makes characters dumber, so like they start spraying this gas secretly, and the characters are like, let's split up, this is a good idea. And yeah, so that would make for a great video game, in my opinion. So there is this game right now called Friday the 13th, based on the movies Friday the 13th.
Why didn't you choose that one?
Hmm?
Why didn't you just choose that one? They already got it done.
No. I'm saying that this game is bad, but I think we can take this type of gameplay and use it for Cabin in the Woods. So Friday the 13th kind of has this problem that there is only Jason, and it's boring, and all the characters are like, basically it's like Jason is overpowered, and there is almost no way to win if you're playing as teenagers. So here's how we would fix it. First of all, not only there is Jason, there's also like other monsters. not literally Jason, but like Jason wannabe, like a parody of Jason. Like there is also like maybe there's Freddy Krueger, maybe there is like Cenobites, and each it's a multiplayer game. So like one player plays as the monster, and everybody else plays as teenagers who get slaughtered. In the movie, they also like have to follow the tropes. So there's like one teenager is a jock, one teenager is a nerd, one teenager is a whore. Their words, not mine. I'm not slut shaming. That's just what they say in the movie. So those are classes for our characters, and each one kind of has their special abilities. Like jock obviously is the most like is the best one at fighting, and he kind of has the most chance to fight back to monster. Nerd can repair shit, like can craft stuff. Like whore, I'm sorry. I guess she can run fastest, and she can like kind of like I think there will be also like NPCs, like NPC teenagers, and maybe she can like basically keep them as escort, like keep a couple of them, attract them with her seductive nature. So like she can compensate for lack of abilities like by having a nerd around, like or a jock who will like help her out and stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of it. Like, and maybe like there is a big problem that in Friday the 13th that for a lot of time like nobody does anything. Like Jason just looks for teenagers and teenagers hide around the map, and it's huge. I think we should add like to this scheme something like a field from Battlegrounds where it's like the map gets smaller. Like it forces you to go to a certain like point at the map, or otherwise you die. Like it gets smaller over time, so that the game wouldn't be boring. Like so that there wouldn't be a scenario
like there's a thunderstorm and you have to get away from the lake.
Yeah, something like that. So that there wouldn't be a scenario where like you killed all teenagers except one and you can't find the last one. So like there will be like at some point after certain time passes, you will be forced to like stay in a certain location, and teenagers will have to fight back with everything they found on the map, like all the weapons, or all the weapons they crafted, the traps, and the monster will have like superpowers by that. Like he will also level up by killing more and more teenagers, and it will be like the ending of a horror movie where it's the last stand. And there will be an achievement. If you play as female character and you're like the last one to kill the monster, you get the achievement, the last girl, like or final girl. How do you say it?
Last girl, I think. But there's no last girl class.
I think like if you're playing as female character, you get a boost like to all the stats in the end if you're the last one. Yeah, we are doing the reverse sexism. It's better to play as a girl. By the way, I want to quickly clarify that just to be cool, all classes can be played by both genders. So like you can have female jock or male jock, and you can have like a male whore or female whore. Equality.
Cool. Yeah.
So and the developer for it
all equally.
Yeah. Like hey. Monsters don't discriminate, okay? Equal opportunity slaughter. And the developer would be Supermassive Games. They made Until Dawn, that is basically a similar cops concept. So they have some experience in horror. So that's cool.
Cool. That sounds pretty fun. I'd probably play it if I played multiplayer games or video games.
I think there can be like a single player campaign too.
Oh, okay. Maybe in that case I would play it if I played other video games.
I'm not a fan of those games that are only multiplayer. I think you should give people more.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now you can go with your pick.
Okay, so I've got 3, and I guess since we both have 3, and I guess I'll go with the middle one. I think that they should make a Sausage Party video game.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it would be you play as one of the wieners or the hot dog buns, and you'd go around and try and get from one of the they'd send you to the great beyond, and you'd have to try and get from the house and escape the horrors of the kitchen and try and get back to the store and kill all humans, I guess. I think that it sort of seems like this Ratatouille game that was based on the Pixar movie that I saw on Wii, where you were like a small character and you had to get around the human world, and it would be like an adventure game, like a 3D adventure game. It would have all the sex jokes and puns and racism and other hilariousness.
Okay, that's cool. Do you know like who would you like to see as developer? Like you can pick anyone, even a studio that doesn't exist anymore.
Seth Rogen video games.
Okay.
They should stick to the same creative people as the ones that made the movie, because that's a thing that you wouldn't want to screw up.
Okay. So can I do the next one?
Yeah, go ahead. What's your next one?
My next one is Rango. If you don't know, Rango is a 2011 CGI cartoon made by Gore Verbinski. It's about a lizard who gets lost in Mojave Desert and finds basically a westernish town filled with animals, built by small animals, and everybody looks for food there. So this is what kind of game it would be, and I will try to explain it along with explaining the movie. It would be a role-playing game, like a really simplistic, classic role-playing game, kind of like Mass Effect or Fallout. Here's the thing, in the movie, Rango, the titular character, this chameleon, he has this thing where he is an actor, and when he gets to this town, he pretends to be the coolest cowboy gunslinger in the world. Like he doesn't have an identity at all, so he kind of finds this way to basically act it, to make up this character and be super cool so that people like him. And this would be what you do in the game. You should kind of interact with characters, talk to them, and you build a reputation of sorts. And you kind of have to stick to that reputation. So if you come into this bar and start explaining that you're the coolest gunslinger, you should kind of try to stick to this character. If you start running away from fights, you lose this reputation, and people stop respecting you, and they will not give you quests and stuff, maybe give you less money. Not money, because in the movie, they all fight for water. The water is the biggest resource in the desert, so you will fight for water, and that's kind of your quest. You have to just not die from starvation. Dehydration. I forgot the word. So you have to complete quests in order to get more water. It's kind of like simple. I imagine it's just a very simplistic RPG where you have a reputation, kind of like in Fable, and all people react to you according to this reputation. So if you're a bad guy and everybody hates you, they boo at you, they throw stuff at you, maybe they fight you when you come into the city. If you're good, they're the opposite way. They're yay, that's the guy, I love him. And maybe but you can have different reputations in different cities. So in this one main city called Dirt, you can be a cool gunslinger, but you can go to other places and where they don't know you yet and be somebody else there. Be a coward or be a businessman. And I don't know, maybe would be have a really simple fighting system where you just shoot stuff, kind of arcadey. I would imagine it would be developed by Lionhead, who made Fable games. They don't longer exist, but I don't care. We are fantasizing here, so it doesn't matter. We are funktasizing here. That's my pick, so you can go ahead with your next one.
Okay, so my next one would be How to Train Your Dragon, the video game. And it would be an open world game where it would also be like an adventure game where you go around in Viking land and go and wrangle sheep. I think they did that in the movie. And you find Toothless or some other dragon. Who knows? You can. I'm sure there'll be like 20 or 30 or 50 or a butt-ton load of dragons that you can choose from. And they all have like different stats, and there are some that are faster and more fiery, and others that are shoot like ice beams or something. And there would be a whole bunch of dragons, but the main thing would be that you would be able to fly out in the sky, and it would be really pretty. And yeah, that's what I got.
Was it good?
And I don't know who would make it at all. Nintendo, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like a Breath of the Wild kind of game, like a Skyrim for kids, for younger
like
audiences.
I don't think it would really have that large a map.
Yeah, I think like it's a smaller game.
Yeah, definitely.
More like classic Zeldas, like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask again. All right, so I can do my next one, my final one, and it's the best one. This one is the reason I decided to tackle this topic. It's Redline. Redline is I think a 2009 anime directed by Takeshi Koike. I probably pronounced it wrong. Doesn't matter.
Directed by Takeshi Koike.
Great. It's an amazing thing. It's an anime about the biggest race in the galaxy. Like I mean like not race like black or white. I mean cars. Cars. Like all sorts of aliens. They like enter this competition. It's the craziest thing ever. It's basically Fury Road anime, kind of like the whole cartoon. Most of it is just this crazy race, and it's great. It's amazing. All the designs, all the characters are super cool. There is like one guy who is part machine, and he's the best racer ever, of course. And he has a great theme song that I will probably put here like right now. And that's kind of the game that I think already been made, but nobody did it with Redline because Redline has the best characters, the best music, and the best kind of style. So it will be kind of like Mario Kart on steroids. Every car is in the cartoon. It can like ride just on the ground, or they can also fly or ride on water, and like some are better at riding at water, some are better on the ground. They all have like some kind of cannons or guns, and some different special abilities. One turns into a giant transformer, and yeah, like Mario Kart is the game, but Mario Kart on insane speed because it's a really fast anime. I would imagine and in anime they also like have hostile environment. Like the race happens on the planet of robots, kind of like Cybertron, and robots don't like it. So they are trying to prevent this race from them. They're trying to kill every single racer. So that would kind of be the thing. Like every race would kind of be this huge open world-ish map with different routes, with but one single goal at the end. And every car should just go there, like to this point. And the hostile environments like change. Like there would be like this robot planet where the robots are trying to kill you, but it would be like maybe something like a live planet, kind of like in King Kong movies where it's animals that try to kill you all the time. Or just like maybe there would be a planet where there is something like acid rains that force you to kind of go to tunnels and hide from damage, or otherwise your car gets destroyed. Yeah, like so graphics would be kind of cel-shaded, kind of like in Borderlands, because that's kind of how the cartoon looks. The perfect developer for it would be Retro Studios that already helped develop Mario Kart 7. And they did a bunch of other Nintendo stuff, so I think they would be perfect, and I don't know how this game isn't made yet. I think somebody should get on it. Maybe I will someday get on it. That's my dream. I should make a Redline game. Or at least, like, even if I don't get licensed to Redline, similar style.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for my all 3 games.
Okay, so the last one, so I think the last one should be The A-Team, the video game.
Oh yeah, this is so good. Yeah, come on.
And I feel like it would be made by Setanov Studios. That's the people that would make it, and the big person that would be in charge of it would have this mohawk and sunglasses, and he would not be a big pile of garbage, since I think the video game industry probably needs more of those people.
Yeah.
Anyway, the video game would be like, I don't know, it's like the A-Team. They're hiding from a crime they didn't commit by a government that wants them unjustly. And they go all over the world and get missions from people, and you'd like choose one of the 4 members of the A-Team and do your thing, and that would be it.
So would be like first person or third person?
I think third person probably.
So kind of like GTA 5, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of like heist missions in GTA 5.
Yeah, exactly like that.
And
so maybe it would be co-created by Rockstar, since that seems to be their
I'm thinking
thing.
more like the developers of Just Cause would be better.
Maybe. That would also work, probably. And that would be it.
Yeah, that's great.
And the theme song would be blaring every single place, no matter what you do, even on the pause screen, because that's what they should do.
I remember really liking that last A-Team movie. Like, that was okay, I think. Remember? Do you remember the movie?
I didn't see it. I watched the TV show, but then I stopped because it's got a formula, and the formula gets old.
The movie is actually okay. Like, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I don't remember it being like terribly bad. So like, the casting there is great. It's like it has Bradley Cooper. Liam Neeson plays the main guy, like the general who constantly smokes a cigar. And Shalta Copley plays their pilot. It's great. It's a great casting. Right, that was lovely. So I guess we're done. We're done for this episode. But don't give up on us yet.
We're not done ruining podcasting just yet.
Yeah.
We got more to do.
We got more to do because aside from this episode that I hope will be up soonish, we are recording on Wednesday. I hope to release it like somewhere before the end of the week. But on weekends we are doing a special episode all about Spider-Man. We're going to talk about all 3 Raimi Spider-Man movies, the newer Amazing Spider-Man movies, and the brand new Spider-Man Homecoming, which I saw today.
Boo! Excited for it all.
Yeah, but BrightMarsh will still have to see it. You are grounded. You're grounded. So both of us will see it by weekends, and then we will talk all about it. It's gonna be fun. So
yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah, stay Spidey.
Stay Spidey. Peace out.
Yeah.
Pleasure.